Have you ever wondered, how can I stand out in my career without sacrificing my personal style? Because that was a really big question that I had in my mid-20s, especially when I got to that like professional level of my career. Whatever career you're in, whether it's like a corporate field or more creative, or whether you work for yourself or you're working from home or you're like in a split schedule like I am, I'm gonna give you tips that will allow you to not lose yourself in your career, but at the same time to be able to shine in your personal style. Let's get into it. Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Maria, the Maria Fade, if you're new here. And I get a lot of questions and definitely a lot of comments about how to integrate your personal style into your career, like into your work, how to really do it well. Tip number one is knowing the dress code in your office and pushing the boundaries just a little bit. Every workplace has its own dress code. We know this by now. And if you don't know it, definitely get the dress code for your workplace, okay? Whether it's business casual, whether it's corporate, whether it's a little bit more relaxed, whether it's just casual in general, you really want to know exactly what your workplace work code is. Like, obviously someone who's in the medical field would be wearing scrubs. It makes no sense for them to be wearing like open toe shoes. Like that just doesn't make any sense, right? But there's still ways that you can integrate yourself in that, whether it's just certain things you add to your outfit. Is really knowing the dress code so you know what boundaries you can really push, right? For example, if you're in a business formal work environment, you could add accessories to your outfit. So maybe instead of going for like a blue top, you could put like a patterned blue top, or like you see, like frills and patterned shirts. You could do things like skirts that are long and frilly and patterned, or maybe a little bit of sparkles, a little bit of texture, those things, or accessories like a bag or a shoe or scarf that really just stands out a little bit. Even though you are in like a professional workspace, you obviously still have to make a good impression, right? But those little details could push the boundaries just a little bit without you actually breaking the dress code. So like I said, right? Just a little boundary pushing, like a little bit. They show your individuality, they show your background, they show who you are without you obviously doing too much and obviously getting written up or sent to HR guys. So yeah, let's get into tip number two. Tip number two is leveraging your strengths. Remember, whatever you do, your personal style will kind of speak for you. You have to understand, right? People are very visual. They take you in before you even speak. So if your personal style is just something that you're able to convey, you already kind of have an edge there. And I have another video that talks about color theory and color psychology and how you can use that to your advantage. But that's kind of what I'm talking about here. If you have certain colors or certain patterns that you know evokes like people being like, oh, I love that on you and stuff like that, those are skills that you kind of have in your back pocket that you can pull out. So leverage your advantages. Like if you know this color looks great on you or the silhouette is amazing and you've worn it to work a couple of times, don't be shy to bring it back. Like obviously we're going to use the same closet, right? Hone your skill, leverage what you know, not just in your career, obviously, like use your skills when it comes to like your resume and things like that and just like advancing your career, but also in your outfits. Make sure your style supports your strengths, okay? If you're in a creative field, it just makes sense to like shine a little bit with a little bit maybe of an edge when it comes to your outfit. You can be a bit more freer, obviously, if you're in a bit more of a creative field. Now it depends, right? If you're more like the architecture creative field, it's still a little bit more corporate, a little bit more business casual. But if you're like in PR, like I've seen people literally wear like shorts and stuff to work. So you can really get to shine a little bit more when it comes to those fields, right? Those kind of little details really make you stand out, and those are your strengths, so don't forget to leverage those. Comment, what's your signature style? I'd like to know. Number three is be consistent with your style. Of course, I always preach experimenting, but being consistent with your style, it kind of gives people an expectation of who you are. Like when people think of someone, like you have an idea of them because you know, okay, they dress this way, they talk this way and all that stuff, right? I'm not saying don't experiment, but when it comes to the workplace, right, you do have a certain wardrobe you're probably gonna go to. So being consistent with the way that you present yourself, I do think people tend to be like, okay, you know, I can see you being like patterned shirts, colors. Don't be sloppy. Don't just have shirts like on top. Like, you know, take out an iron sometimes. Like that's your personal brand. Like I know a lot of times we think like, oh, I'm going to work and I'm just gonna do the best at my job. Yes, your job is obviously very important, but how you portray yourself also Very important. We all know this. That's why when we go to interviews and stuff, we want to be in our best behavior. Same thing with our jobs. Tip number 4 is right after that, take just one thing at a time and say, okay, I am going to incorporate more patterns into my closet this season, or I'm going to incorporate more textures into my closet this season. That gives you a little bit more motivation over time to innovate your style, to actually experiment at a level where it's sustainable to your closet, not just something that you're trying out and like throwing in and out. You're not really giving yourself time to actually adapt to that item to really see if you even like it. Is it something that I'm called to? Adding one piece of item to your outfit that just shakes up your outfit will do a world of wonders for you. Innovate with just like one thing. You don't have to go from 0 to 100, because I feel like a lot of times people see their favorite content creators and they say, oh my God, I want to wear everything they're wearing. They go and buy the same exact closet and then it doesn't look good. And it's like, why doesn't it look good? I fell into this trap myself. I'm being really honest, right? But the fact is, it doesn't fit into your closet. The silhouette may not fit you. It may not fit your lifestyle. It may not fit so many things. That's what I mean. Like, take your time when it comes to innovating, but pick one thing at a time. It doesn't have to be 0 to 100. One piece at a time. Fashion, remember, at the end of the day, it's all about self-expression. I really want you to shine in whatever style you have, right? Because that's why I didn't say, make sure you keep this item in your closet and that item, because it's like, obviously for any career, it's for anyone who's trying to go in the career. I've had multiple careers throughout my life. I've gone everywhere from like fast food worker all the way to like planner. So I've done literally every single thing. A lot of things, not every single thing, but I've done a lot of jobs. Everything from literally, you know, working day to day on my feet to computer work and things like that in an office. So I can tell you there's a range of work, but still my style overall may have evolved, may have changed, I may have experimented with it, but I still know the things that I'm drawn to overall. As I'm growing more now, it's just adding just one, innovating with one piece at a time that's been more sustainable and work for me in the long run. And finally, tip number 5 is stay inspired around things that keep you inspired when it comes to your style. I do think that there's something about keeping inspirations when it comes to wanting to expand with your style. Don't just go for people that 100% comfortable with. Go with people who will kind of push your boundaries just a little bit. But of course, you want to go with someone that can help you build your closet successfully. So find those artists, find those creators, find those influencers, like I didn't just say it was influencers, right? It could be artists, whatever, like it could be theater, it could be whatever helps you to feel inspired with your style. Doesn't have to be an influencer, but stay locked into your inspo, because that's how you will grow. Like we can't just come up with ideas by ourselves all the time. That's just not real. There's like so many like people who've done so many great things. To not go to them for inspiration is kind of a disservice to what they've kind of done, in my opinion. So I just think go check out what other people have done and then take it and make it your own, because you're not them. Even if you try to replicate it, it may not be the same. So really using them as a platform and using all those people that you see as inspiration. Yeah, just like you go to conferences or you go to like a lecture or lunch and learn or happy hour or whatever, with your coworkers or whatever, like continuing education. People don't realize that style and finding your personal style is actually studying it. It is like anything else. You can get better at it. Like you can either stay stagnant or get better. So the more you study or the more you see the inspos, the more you're able to grow. You do the same thing with your career, the same thing with your style. You have to keep building both in order for you to progress with both. You know, it's like you just have to try a little bit, in my opinion. Not that hard, just a little bit. Those are things that I found that's really helped me in my career growth and my personal style growth, and how both of them have kind of intertwined over time, and how my closet and my style has changed. And those are things that I think have remained consistent throughout all the different careers that I've had, in my opinion. Key is to find that balance between your style and your professional presence. And once you find it, once you find that spot that you constantly grow in, I'm sure you thrive. There you have it. Those are 5 tips that I feel will help you stand out, not only your career, but obviously in your personal style. If this video has been helpful, don't forget to save it and share it with someone. Like, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. And until next time, bye.